What's up, guys? This is JP, and this is the Windy City East Sports Podcast. This is where you're going to get all your Bears news, all your Blackhawks news, all your Cubs news, all your Bulls news, and yes, of course, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. You'll get some of that as well. But welcome to the Windy City East Podcast. I'm so excited for this. I'm a huge Chicago sports fan, and I was trying to figure out what kind of a title I could come up with that's catchy, would get people's attention. And Windy City East came to mind because this is Connecticut. I am not from Chicago. My heart is in Chicago, but my body is in Connecticut. But let's get right into this. I'm so excited for this. And this is the first episode of the Windy City East Podcast, and I'm JP. The Bears. We're all excited for this season. 2026. The Bears made the playoffs last year. And now we're hoping they can repeat and do it all over again. But so far, we have hit some snags already. And I'm concerned for the season because these are some devastating injuries that we got. And none other than... Before we get into the injuries, though, what's going on with the stadium? Now, obviously, the Bears' football season is way more important than where the stadium's going to be because we don't even know where the hell it's going to be. We don't know what's going on. But where is the stadium going to be? Illinois, I'm sorry, but it looks like you have lost the Chicago Bears for the foreseeable future since George McCaskey has come out and said they are looking at a second site in Hammond, Indiana. Apparently, the first site, which we all kind of thought really wasn't going to be a good site for the Bears to play on. It really wasn't great, and it wasn't a good site to build on. And obviously, George McCaskey is looking other places with Kevin Warren to figure out that situation. So it looks like the Bears are going to be leaving Illinois. Arlington is not even a thought anymore. So it looks like Chicago has lost the Bears, and I'm sad about that. You know, I love the name, the Chicago Bears. You know, obviously they're going to stay the Chicago Bears. I'm not going to get crazy or anything. But just seeing that stadium with the skyline in the background, like think of last year in the playoffs. How magical was it? You know, the snow falling, Soldier Field, the skyline. Like, it was so cool. It was such a great atmosphere. In Indiana, it doesn't have the same ring, and I'm sad about it. As a Bears fan, like, it's like my childhood. You know, like my childhood is like going away and losing Soldier Field, a magical place where Walter Payton ran for those 16,000 yards. Jim McMahon's going crazy. Brian Urlacher's making big plays. Dick Butkus making big plays. Devin Hester's magical 2006 season. The 2018 season. The two amazing overtime wins for the Bears in 2001 with the Hail Mary and the interception on Terrell Owens. Like, Soldier Field is coming to a close, guys. And it sucks. It really sucks. But we have to turn the page and we have to get ready for this season. And right off the bat, like the stadium news, we don't really get any better news. Kobe Bryant, who Adam Schefter reported was going to be 8 to 10 weeks and possibly looking at a week 5 return versus the Packers. You could rip that report up because he's going to be out 4 to 6 effing months. What the hell? How do we go from 8 to 10 weeks to freaking months? This was our corner piece. This was our big free agent acquisition, and we're not getting it. We're not getting this big-time free agent on the field this year. What are we doing? Like, I get it. Ben Johnson wants a physical football team. He wants a team that's going to go out there and be ready to go in week 1. Tough, grit, everything, and I respect the hell that Ben Johnson has an identity, and I respect the hell that he wants a physical damn team. But Jesus, it seems like every year we go into this. Last year it was Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. Now it's freaking Kobe Bryant missing 4 to 6 months with the fracture. Like, I want a physical football team. I do. But I also want to go into the season with our team healthy. But I guess our team being healthy down the stretch rather than beginning of the season, I don't know. But this is not good, especially for this Bears defense, which has issues on the defensive line. Now we have major issues in the secondary. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. We obviously have some rookies that are going to have to play quicker than expected. But now we're in the situation where our defense lost a huge piece. We just lost a huge piece to this defense. And this is not the way you want to start off this season. But we can flip to the other side of this, and that is the Bears' offense, which Ben Johnson apparently came out and said he wants this team to be better than that 2013 Broncos offense. And if we remember that 2013 Broncos offense, Peyton Manning for 55 touchdowns that season, and that offense was humming. Like, they put up, I think they put up 7 touchdowns in week 1 versus the Ravens. Like I understand Ben Johnson wants this offense to be like that, but that was a special offense from Gary Kubiak. That was a special offense. And I don't know. I love Caleb Williams. I love our offense. I love the fact that our offensive line is going to be probably one of our strongest points, because it looks like, and this is insane, because he had a absolute devastating injury to his patellar tendon. But the fact that Ozzie Trapillo can be back before training camp's over? Is that, like, insane to you guys too, that, like, this guy was completely out of it in that playoff game against the Packers, but he can possibly be back for week 1, which would be amazing for our offensive line, for Ozzie Trapillo to be back, because then you have Darnell Wright, you have Garrett Bradbury, and then you have Jonah Jackson, and then you have Joe Thuney. I mean, that's a hell of an offensive line if we get Trapillo back. If we don't, then obviously we have other options. Not great options, but to get Ozzie Trapillo back would be absolutely insane. But now to get back to this offense, now can this offense be like that Broncos team? I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, I'm not saying this year, but I'm saying, like, why not? Can't this offense be like that? Because that offense was in Denver, cold, same as Chicago, cold, on grass. So we get those variables out of the way. But now you look at Caleb Williams can be explosive. Luther Burden can be explosive. Rome Odunze can be explosive. And speaking of Rome Odunze, this is a make it or break it year for Rome Odunze. It absolutely is. We drafted him with the 9th overall pick in 2024, right after Caleb Williams. We drafted him for Caleb Williams. This is now make it or break it time for Rome Odunze, because in 2024 he looked every bit like that 9th overall pick. However, last year, a lot of drops. This whole Bears team had a lot of drops. This Bears team cost Caleb Williams 400 extra passing yards, which would have absolutely got him to that 4,000 passing yard plateau that everybody wants him to be at. But there was a lot of drops last year from this Chicago Bears offense. And I'm hoping that we can correct that. And Rome Odunze has to be the leader of that immediately, because he had a lot of key drops. He had a key drop on a touchdown pass that Caleb threw to him that should have caught against the Rams. He had a couple other drops that were key. But yeah, this is definitely a make it or break it year for Rome Odunze. 100% a make it or break it year for Rome Odunze. And I'm hoping, all Bears fans are hoping, that he is truly that 9th overall pick that we got. but it did not look like it last year, and it needs to look like it this year, especially if Luther Burden is on pace to be our receiver one. Luther Burden had explosiveness last year. He had toughness last year. And then you have a Jahdae Walker. We lose Lamadus Zaccheaus, but let me tell you, he had some awful drops, especially in some of those games against the Packers. Zaccheaus had some awful drops. So adding a Khalif Raymond from the Lions, that's a big step right there as well. And then obviously we have Xavier Thomas. So we have options for this offense. And can this offense be the 2013 Broncos? Man, you had Peyton Manning, a seasoned veteran, leading that. That's a tall ask by Ben Johnson. But I love the fact that Ben Johnson has aspirations. He has goals in place that he wants to meet. So I'm all for it. You want to be better than the 2013 Broncos? Who am I to say no? Go ahead and try to go for it. But I don't think it's going to be this year. Maybe next year. Now, this pisses me off a little bit. This little nugget pisses me off. So Micah Parsons came out and said his target, he wants to come back against the Cowboys. Micah, do you understand where you play? I understand you want your get back at Jerry Jones, and I understand you really want your get back after Quinnen Williams just got that huge contract extension. But Micah, this is a Bears-Packers rivalry. You even went on and said about, Caleb and everything being the Iceman and how he has a cool celebration. You don't want to be back to play the Iceman in Lambeau? You don't want to make your return in Lambeau? You'd rather play Dallas? You'd rather not make the start against the Chicago Bears at Lambeau Field, Week 5, which could be a key game, and you'd rather come back for the Dallas Cowboys. Green Bay, I want you to know one thing right now. Micah Parsons is not showing you signs that he wants to be a Packer. He's not showing you signs that he's truly bought in. Because if you want to truly be a Green Bay Packer, you are targeting that game against Chicago, a team that pantsed the Green Bay Packers last year in the absolute worst situations for them, in the playoffs, in the final game of the season that got us the division. And Micah Parsons doesn't want to come back and play Caleb Williams. He'd rather come back to play against Dak Prescott. That tells me everything I need to know about Micah Parsons, that he is not bought in to the Green Bay way of life. Packers-Bears is the game for the Green Bay Packers. It is not Packers-Cowboys. But Micah, if that's when you want to return against Dallas, go right ahead. Go right ahead. We'll be glad to beat the Packers' ass without you. So go ahead. All right, switching from the Bears, we're going to go to the Cubs now. And the Cubs, very busy at the trade deadline, extremely busy at the trade deadline. And, are we going to get into that? But first, you feel it? You feel it up there in Wisconsin? Especially in that little corner of Wisconsin called Milwaukee. The footsteps are getting louder. The chase is getting tighter. And the Chicago Cubs have cut this 7.5 game deficit to 4 because the Brewers are having troubles with the San Diego Padres. This is going to get even tighter because the Cubs have 7 games in hand with the Brew Crew. And the Cubs have a chance to really gain some ground. But I'm not overlooking the Nationals this week, although we did take last night's game. I'm not overlooking the series we have against the Cardinals. I'm sure as hell not overlooking the series with the White Sox. And you know what? I'm a Cubs fan, but I have to give it up for the Chicago White Sox. They had 60 wins of total last year, and they're already at 60. I don't really follow the White Sox, but I have to give props to the White Sox, especially Colston Montgomery and Mune, because this White Sox team is a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to that next week's series, the Cross City Showdown with the White Sox, because it's going to be 2 playoff-ready teams ready to go. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. But now the trade acquisitions for Chicago Cubs. Kevin Gausman from the Toronto Blue Jays. A huge get for this Cubs team to really solidify the rotation, because we are depleted by injuries. With friggin' Cade Horton with the Tommy John, that absolutely sucks. Justin Steele with the setback absolutely sucks. But we have Matthew Boyd. We added Kevin Gausman. We also added Clay Holmes from the Mets. We added Braxton Garrett. We added Zephyr John for the bullpen. And we even added a bat in Tyrone Taylor. There we go. Tyrone Taylor. And this basically was a trade deadline where we needed pitching. We needed a lot of pitching. And Jed Hoyer went out. He believed in this team. And he made the trades that needed to be made. Did we lose Mo Baller? Yes, we lost Mo Baller. Do I like Mo Baller? Absolutely. I think he's a fun player. I think his energy was great. He has a good bat. But we needed pitching. And he was one of those resources we could afford to move. So Jed Hoyer did the right thing by this Cubs team. He believes in this Cubs team. And now we get to my set of questions about this Cubs team. First of all, one of my big questions, and it showed its ugly colors last night, is how much do we honestly trust Shota and Managa in the playoffs? I personally am afraid to death, because I see a lot of those things happen with Shota, where he leaves a slider up in the zone, or he misplaces one of his splitters, and it doesn't go for a double. It leaves the park, and he is a home run magnet. He gives up way too many home runs, and trusting him in that first 3 of the rotation is scary to me. But to be honest, if we're thinking about this pitching staff, it would probably go 1, Matthew Boyd. 2, it would go Clay Holmes or Kevin Gausman. And then 3 would be that spot where it would either be Gausman or Clay Holmes. So Shota would definitely see the bullpen. But yeah, I mean, this Cubs team is an embarrassment of pitching right now with Gausman, Clay Holmes. Javier Assad has even done a damn good job. And I think we're probably going to have to designate him for assignment. But Javier Assad, I have to give you props, man. You did a hell of a job holding it down for us. Colin Ray doing a good job as well. Nice to see Matthew Boyd come back and be Matthew Boyd. But yeah, this Cubs team has the pitching. Ben Brown should be coming back soon. Hopefully we see Justin Steele. Obviously Edwin Cabrera. So there's no lack of arms for the Chicago Cubs team. And this pitching is good enough to make an October run. Which gets me to the key to this Cubs team right now, which is the batting. The batting for this Cubs team is just insane right now. Bregman is getting hot at the right time. PCA continues to make his case for MVP. And let's get into this. PCA MVP. And I don't want to hear, oh man, Shota's got to unlock. Shota has not pitched this season. And that's what makes Ohtani so important to the Dodgers, is the fact that he can pitch and hit, but he hasn't been able to pitch. He's been able to hit, and he's doing a hell of a job of hitting. But PCA's defense, and we cannot understate his defense. He makes plays in the outfield that are just insane, and he is so fast with his defense. Now, does he have those times where he kind of looks like a little leaguer, like the one where he was going to like get it like this and it just went completely under his glove?
I think he's obviously, he is one of the Cubs' best defensemen, if not the best defenseman. And it does not, and some of those plays he makes saves games. So PCA should absolutely be right on the heels of Shohei Ohtani in this voting race, because I feel the voters could get Shohei Ohtani complacent sometimes and just be like, oh, he's just so great. But I think PCA deserves one hell of a look, in my opinion. But the real key to this team, the pitching is nice, the hitting is nice, and I just touched on it a little bit with PCA. This Cubs defense is the best in baseball. I'm not going to say one of the best. It is the best. With our outfield of Happ, and then you add a Tyrone Taylor who looks great in the outfield, and then obviously our MVP, PCA, locking it down at center, and then you have Seiya, and then you get the infield of Nico Hoerner, Alex Bregman, Michael Busch, like this, and Dansby Swanson. And then obviously the pitching, which a lot of our pitchers are ground ball pitchers, so it really helps out our defense. This Cubs defense is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best defense in baseball. They've saved a bunch of games. They are that good. They are that good. And this Cubs defense really drives this train and really makes me believe that this Chicago Cubs team could win it all. They could absolutely win it all. And that's why Jed Hoyer went out and he got the pitching. That's why he went out, added another bat. That's why he went out and got the bullpen piece. He believes in this Cubs team, and he believes that this Cubs team can win a World Series. 100%. If Jed Hoyer didn't believe that, he wouldn't have gave up some of our prospects and Mo Baller to get us here. Jed Hoyer believes in this team. And Craig Counsell said, hey guys, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. We need pitching. We need arms. We're depleted with injuries. And Jed Hoyer went out. And he got it done. He got it done. And props to Jed Hoyer. I'm going to say something right now. This Chicago general manager staff has done a phenomenal job across the board. You start with the White Sox. They're doing a hell of a job over there. Ryan Poles, obviously. Oh, can we get into something here when I'm talking about GMs here for a second? Jordan Vandenberg for this Bears team. I don't know if Ryan Poles happened to strike gold again in the 5th round, but this dude apparently is throwing around the offensive lineman, and Montez Sweat is getting excited about it. So hopefully Ryan Poles struck gold here. Maybe we found ourselves a defensive tackle, and boy, that would be something. That would be something if Ryan Poles struck gold on a defensive player. He struck gold on offensive players. I mean, Jesus, Monangai last year. Getting Kyle Monangai where we got him. And this dude runs hard. He runs physical. And he is, I don't want to tackle him. If I'm an opposite player, I don't want to tackle Monangai. After he shredded the Philadelphia Eagles, and then he shredded the Cincinnati Bengals last year, and then the plays he made in the playoffs, the plays he made in the regular season, all those plays. Ryan Poles got ourselves a legit running back, too. Legit. Him and Swift are one hell of a duo. One hell of a duo, and I can't wait to see this season because this is a contract year for Swift. And I don't know if he's coming back, but he's going to want to look damn good for the other teams that he's going to try to go for. Just to be honest. But yeah, I mean, Ryan Poles has done a phenomenal job. The Bulls GM, not gonna get excited for this though. I'm not gonna get excited. I mean, getting Caleb Wilson, huge get. He looked great. He looks good in the summer league. I can't wait to see him in the actual October when it's time to go. But yeah, I'm looking forward to him. Adding Norman Powell from the Miami Heat, getting him as a free agent, that was huge. And then you bring in, obviously, the new head coach, Tiago Splitter. This Bulls team has been bad for so long, though. It really has. And they've been wallowing in mediocrity. And they finally said, you know what? We're done with the mediocrity. If we're going to suck, let's just suck. If we're going to be good, let's just be good. This Bulls team needs to not be mediocre anymore. And this is a good first step, getting Caleb Wilson. This was a huge get for the Chicago Bulls, and hopefully this leads to something down the road for this Bulls team. But yeah, GM for the Bulls has done a great job. GM for the Cubs has done a great job. GM from the freaking even the Blackhawks GM. And I'm not just saying because he got Patrick Kane back, and we get to pair him with Bedard, but we have to obviously wait until Bedard returns from his shoulder injury, which was non-contact, and I hope this dude is not brittle, but the Chicago Blackhawks did just give him the bag. So he's going to be here for quite a while, and I love what he said, because apparently the Montreal Canadiens had an offer sheet for Connor Bedard, and Connor Bedard said, why would I want to risk something when I want to be a Hawk? He wants to be in Chicago. He wants to be here for this, and you have to love that about Connor Bedard. And I hope he comes back, and I hope he's ready to go, and I hope he's healthy, and I'm hoping Patrick Kane can unlock something in him, because this could be a very fun duo to watch. Kane and Bedard on the same line, if they play on the same line, which I'm pretty sure that's where Coach Jeff Blashill wants to go. And then it's another thing to see Bowen Byram come here as well to try to solidify a absolute Swiss cheese defense in the Chicago Blackhawks team. I can't even see how good Spencer Knight really is as a goalie, because he's too busy facing shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. But I'm hoping that these two acquisitions do something for the Chicago Blackhawks team. And I'm looking forward to opening night against my cousin's favorite team, the Vegas Golden Knights, who unfortunately didn't get the job done against the Carolina Hurricanes last year. I was disappointed by it. I really thought the Vegas Knights were going to win that series, but just wasn't in the cards, I guess, for Vegas. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the Blackhawks this year. I'm looking forward to watching Caleb Wilson with the Bulls this year. Obviously, can Caleb Williams make the run at MVP? That would obviously be a great thing to see as well this season for Chicago. How far can this Cubs team go in the playoffs? How far can the White Sox go in the playoffs? Because I will be giving the White Sox a good look this year. I will. I'll give him my due. But you know, the Cubs White Sox rivalry, like, we don't like them, they don't like us. We understand it, but you gotta respect what the White Sox are doing. They're finally putting a decent team on the field. And now we can talk a little bit about Notre Dame Fighting Irish and what I'm hoping to see out of Notre Dame this year. I'm hoping to see a huge jump in CJ Carr. Like, I'm hoping for a real Heisman Trophy run for CJ Carr. It's been a while since a Notre Dame quarterback, besides like a Brady Quinn, has really, gone for that award. I think Ian Book was even part of it for a season as well. And then obviously last year with Jeremiah Love, coming up short in the Heisman votes, and it didn't help that, he missed the playoffs and, Miami beat us. But this should be a good year for the Fighting Irish. This should be a championship year for the Fighting Irish. It's time to go make everybody eat their words. It's time to go and say, oh, blah, 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 we play a weak schedule, blah, 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 blah. Let's just go out there, kick every team's on the schedule's ass, and let's get to the playoff, and let's make some more noise again.
All right, everybody. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to really enjoy doing this. This is the Windy City East podcast. I'm JP, and bear down.